Okay, so we're recording. Happy Tuesday. Hey, everybody. On my end, it's showing a major delay. Is it showing a major delay on your guys' end? Nod yes, no? Okay. I can't hear you, but I hope it's not super delayed on your guys' end too. Okay, so today's is about how to motivate and sponsor potentials when you feel like you don't have enough results yet yourself. So this goes for the business side, and this goes for the health testimony and the product side, feeling like how can you tell other people if you don't have this immaculate story for yourself? I think this is a really normal thing to feel, especially in the beginning, or even those who have been doing the business for a while and you feel like people aren't going to take you serious if you aren't telling them that you're making $5,000 a month right now. So to start with the business opportunity, being able to share the business opportunity. Thank you, baby. Thank you. Okay. Sharing the business opportunity when you aren't earning what you feel like is enough to share, or when maybe you're not earning anything yet, or maybe you're only earning a little bit, whatever it is, sharing the business side when you don't have this grand testimony for yourself yet. So first and foremost, do you know our compensation plan? Okay, so read it, reread it. It is in our back office under communications, and then library. Our compensation plan is there. Read it and reread it and watch videos on YouTube about it. It will build your belief tenfold in the way to make money for this company. How can you have belief in this business opportunity if you don't fully understand even how to make money in it? You're not going to. You might even feel like you do, maybe because of things that you've heard, but unless you truly understand our comp plan, you're never going to have full belief in being able to go and tell somebody else about it, right? And then my second thing on that is watching or reading a financial testimony every single day. Think if you watched or read 30 a month, the belief that would build. I mean, knowing only a couple, knowing my financial testimony and Emily's financial testimony, and maybe your direct upline, or some of the common people that we all seem, a lot of us seem to know in Plexus, like Rachel Rogers or the McCalls, people who are pretty viral in our little Plexus world. Knowing only their testimonies is not going to be enough for you to truly have belief in being able to go and tell everybody. Reading and watching everyday people's testimonies, and read one or watch one every single day. It will rebuild your belief on a daily basis. So knowing the comp plan, and then multiple testimonies a month, obviously one a day. So that will have your belief established. That's cool. I believe that's great. That is actually a huge component to being able to talk to potentials, because you're going to be going into those conversations so much more confident when you're talking about it. You'll be going in with confidence, and you'll be going in with boldness, because you're going to truly know what you're talking about. And honestly, whenever we don't know what we're talking about, people can see through that. So maybe you feel like you're not having the best luck, if you will, with getting people on board with the business opportunity. But do you truly know our comp plan? I mean, when you're going into the conversation, are you really going in like confident 110% of how much money they could make with this business, or are you kind of still iffy? Because if you're kind of still iffy, they can see right through that. So you might be thinking, okay, cool, I believe, but I'm still not making a lot, so what do I say to them? I can believe in it all day, but if I don't have a grand testimony for myself, what am I supposed to tell these people? So now that you understand and see how you earn, first of all, you are going to be yourself much more motivated to hustle. You're going to be motivated in yourself to make more, so that when people ask you, you actually are like expanding your business, and you really are on fire, because there is so much power in fully understanding how we make money. So not only are you going to be more motivated to hustle now, but the truth of the matter is, you guys, people don't care how much you make. They really don't. They might ask, but all they care about is how are they going to make money with the business. Because, you know, let's face it, Emily making $500,000 a year right now ain't helping us out. You know, how are we going to bring in our paychecks? And potentials are thinking the same thing. How can they make money? So when you're approaching somebody about the business, it's really important to keep it really simple so that they can see how they can make money. So keeping it simple, really all they need to know before they join is, one, that we get paid 11 different ways. Two, that the two main ways that we get paid are sales and building your team. Those are the two main ways. And then I just always tell people, because usually people will be like, okay, but how do I do it? Do I have to post on Facebook a lot? Or, you know, and I tell people, yeah, a lot of people do use Facebook because it's a free resource to reach the masses and share their story with Plexus. You don't have to. But really all Plexus is about, the way that I'm running my business, is that I am growing my team full of family and friends and their family and friends, and people buying products off me who really need it, and me sharing my story on Facebook and sharing product information and sharing it personally one-on-one with people is drawing them in. It's really just about helping them feel better, and the business kind of just follows when you're sharing the product. So be intentional when somebody's interested in the business. Be intentional about not flooding them with too much information, because I think that this can happen really easily. We can be like, oh my God, girl, we get paid 11 different ways. Let me tell you, pay points, preferred customer bonuses, then your sales, then you get 5% of your level 1 sales. And then if you get high enough, we're going to get a Lexus, and then we're going to be on the beach in Maui together, or Kona together. You know, it's so easy to want to do that because we know our comp plan. So we're like, you need to hear this, you know, but for people who are just stepping in, that's actually too much information, and that will push them away. So like I said, keep it simple. Main two ways we get paid are building our team and sales, but I always tell them we get paid 11 different ways, and those are more detailed ways that we'll go through once you're on my team. You don't need more. No, you don't need more. Sorry, you guys. So then I always tell them when I am, when somebody's interested in the business, I always tell them, my old neighbor on Miramar, which is Emily, by the way, I always say my old neighbor on Miramar is making like $30,000 a month right now. No, you can't post that because we can't say our monthly income through a Facebook post or publicly, but this is one-on-one conversations. Another example, my really close friend Tessa that I went to Centennial with is able to stay home with her son full time now after only 5 months of really working her business. The key to that is to tell I believe strongly in this. This is what I do, is telling a one sentence testimony of somebody that you know very personally. Because the power in me telling people that Emily was my neighbor on Miramar is everything. Because I'm not just like, my Plexus upline, she's making $500,000 a year. And they're probably like, okay, yeah, that's great. Like, who is she? Where did she come from? Or whatever. You know, people kind of disregard that. But if it's somebody that, you know, you went to high school with, you could be like, Jen Brett, we went to Centennial with her. Her husband's getting out of the Marine Corps for Plexus income. You know, making it very personal to where that person is like, oh, that person actually knows somebody in their immediate life who is having financial freedom because of this business. So put it in somebody that, you know, notice, like I say, my old neighbor, or the girl I went to Centennial with, or my old coworker from Chili's, you know, you name it, you can say it. Like, just specify how you know that person and make it one sentence. They don't need to know their whole story. Just one sentence of how Plexus has completely set them financially free. So the grand finale question that most of us hate is when people ask us, well, how much do you make, right? We hate that question, right? Because it's like, oh, great. If I say a little bit, it's going to be too little. If I say a lot, these people are going to roll their eyes, or like whatever you think it is. It's pretty much a really nuisance question that we get, but it's realistic. I asked my network marketing friends, Paris Jesky, who's now senior Ruby with Plexus, when she was working Spency, I'm like, how much do you make with Spency? And I was never even interested in network marketing, but people are curious. So don't get flustered when people ask you this. It's just a question. And like I said earlier, the reality is, you guys, you can say you make $30 a month, or you can say that you make $30,000 a month. Their mindset and their question in their head is still going to be the same. Well, can I do that? You know, or vice versa. If it just doesn't matter what amount that you say, which I'm going to get to you not even telling them an amount. Whatever amount you say, their mindset, they're going into this thinking, can I do that? Can I make money with it? So don't feel flustered like you're going to have a perfect number to tell them, because no matter how it comes down to it, I could tell somebody what I'm making right now. I have told close friends what I'm making right now. Making sure it's not you guys telling me you can't hear me or something like last time. You guys can, I told one of my friends like what I make now, and she's like, yeah, but your team is huge already. That's not, I wouldn't make that. So don't feel like you have to have, holy cow. Holy cow. All of your guys' messages just came into me at one time in the leadership group. Can you guys hear me? Yes? Can I get a thumbs up if you guys, okay. Did you hear my phone right now? It was all at one time. Yeah, you can have another drink. That girl's still nothing drink. Okay. So what I say, instead of giving them amount, when somebody asks you, no, Naomi, no, Naomi, no. When somebody asks you, how much do you make? That's when you can be like, well, here, let me just send you this graphic. No matter how you're talking to them, if it's in person, you can pull it up on your phone. If it's through text messages, send them a text. If you're on the phone, be like, well, I can read you off the average monthly income from 2015 right now. There's a graphic. If you don't know what graphic I'm talking about, we will get it to you. It's a very simple graphic, and it just shows by rank the average monthly income for a Plexus ambassador, and it's from the annual statements of 2015. So I always just say, oh, these are our monthly income. Like, here, just check out these. These are really realistic numbers, and these are actually pretty conservative numbers. And I show them it. Or you can say, you can show them that. And I always use that graphic. I just highly recommend always using that graphic, and that way you're not spilling out direct numbers of specifically what you make. I just say well, these are the average monthly income. Like, for example, I'm a Ruby ambassador. So, for example, I'm a silver ambassador, and these numbers are actually pretty conservative. And you can also say, too, without giving them a number, like, so you can show it to them. Sorry, I'm like getting to so many words. So show them the graphic in any way that you're talking to them, and be like, for example, I'm a silver ambassador, like I'm making enough to cover my products and make a car payment. You know, that the way that we have to post on Facebook about our monthly income, our paychecks, we can never post numbers, which I think is wonderful, but we can always use examples of like, wow, I made enough this month to cover my car payment. I made enough this month to cover my products, without giving a number. I think that the same thing goes to when you're talking to potentials, because Naomi Rose, no, put those back right now. My kid is emptying out a box of noodles while I talk to you guys. I don't need a noodle. Please put that back. Thank you. So you can say, I'm a silver ambassador. These numbers are pretty conservative, and my team is growing every month. I'm making enough to cover my products and a car payment right now. But no matter how you slice it, like I said, it's all coming back to what they can do. Their mindset is not really fixed on what you're making. Their mindset is fixed on whether or not they can do it. And that all circles back to you knowing our compensation plan and being very confident when you go into the conversation. You don't need noodles. Those are very yucky. You won't like those. Okay, so that is my advice and my training on how to approach the business side. Now, the health side, the products, the weight loss that a lot of people feel like they need to have before they tell people about it. So this I'm going to breeze through a little bit quicker. It kind of all, it's very similar to the business side. Utilize product knowledge videos. Utilize YouTube, utilize the search bar in Facebook. This is kind of a whole other topic on how to get product knowledge, but it is out there, you guys, and it is so easy to access. And the more product knowledge you have, the more confidence and the more boldness you're going to have going into a conversation. So product knowledge and the same testimony. So when you are, same thing with a testimony a day for the financial and business side, I say a testimony a day for the health side too. Our products help with so many different things that the likelihood of you going into a conversation with a potential and them wanting to get from the products exactly what you got from the product is very unlikely. I have people on my team who are taking it for lupus, for fibro, for diabetes. Those are all things I don't have, but Plexus helped me with anxiety and daily headaches and daily nausea, and my customer base is just the same because it all circles back to how the product can help them. It's really not about how the product helps you. So if you feel like you're just starting off, Chelsea, what's your phone now? Oh boy, she's so lucky right now. So it all comes back to how it can help them. So if you feel like you don't have a testimony right now, that should not be stopping you from sharing the products. Because if you wanted to lose 50 pounds when you joined Plexus and the weight is not falling off as quickly as you want it to, how does that help your Aunt Sue with arthritis? It doesn't. So it all comes back to you knowing the key things that our products help with, and that is everything. It really doesn't matter if you have your own testimony, quite frankly. So, and I'm sure a lot of us who have been in it longer actually realize a lot of people don't even reach out to me and ask me what the products did for me. They just ask me and say, hey, does Plexus help with X, Y, and Z? So don't you not having a huge testimony or a testimony at all yet stop you from sharing it, because it's really not a key role at all. And it's just not in sharing it at all. It's product knowledge and knowing what our products help with. Now, what do our products help with? The three things that I feel like are very important for us to have our general knowledge based on when we go into talking to potentials. Number one is gut health and candida yeast, like the same thing. Number two, inflammation. And number three, blood sugar regulation. Grasping that our products do those three main things is key in being able to talk to anybody about them, because if somebody comes to you and asks you, hey, hey Raina, does Plexus help with does Plexus help with IBS? That immediately allows you to be able to, even if you have no idea, first of all, you can go into the Plexus search bar and, or I'm sorry, the Facebook search bar and type in Plexus IBS. And any post with those two names, those two words in it will come up, and you can see testimonies, you can see information, you can see things that other people have asked for it. And secondly, if you could just simply go into Google and type in Candida yeast and IBS, and then if you don't find a connection between that, go to blood sugar regulation and IBS. If you don't find a connection between that, inflammation and IBS. I can guarantee, well, first of all, IBS, yes, is gut health, and but I'm just saying for anything, for any medical thing that anybody asks you on, you don't need a testimony on it, and you don't need to know somebody personally who it's helped with. All it takes is a search and having those three things. So gut health with and candida yeast, inflammation, and blood sugar regulation. Always research when somebody's coming to you the connection between those three things and what they're coming at you with. And that way, when you talk to them, you are very confident, and you are confident that it can help them. Keep the entire conversation about what that person is needing, whether it be business, whether it be business or the product. Always keep it about what that person needs, and that stress of you feeling like you don't have enough of a testimony will completely diminish, because it's not about you guys. This whole Zoom call, I hope that you are drawing from it, is that it is not about us at all. It is about our potential and helping them. And this does not require you knowing every ingredient. This simply requires you being able to do a simple search, right? And also utilize too, if it's something that you personally have an experience with the product, I always come out with them with a few facts about how blood sugar regulation or gut health is supposed to help that. And I send them a testimony of how Plexus has helped somebody else with that I can find. And then I remind them that we have a 60-day money-back guarantee, and they have nothing to lose. Worst case scenario is that they find it doesn't work for them, and they can literally get all of their money back, no problem, without even shipping their products back. So keep the conversations focused on your potential, and I really hope this call helps. You guys have a great Tuesday, and I'm going to go tend to my crazies. I'll see you guys later.